thank you for having us here today, Jason and Sarah. Now, Jason, I've met you a few times before, and we're going to be here today and spend a lot of time to make some videos with you and do some how-to videos for the website so people can look out for those. So let's just get a background how you two guys got together and where we're at now at Risebridge Farm. So, Jason, how long have you been in the UK now?
I got here officially in 2002 and I set up a horse training business. We've been going very well, and this year I've had a change of staff and that sort of thing, and Sarah's come on board, which has been great, and things have gone from strength to strength.
Brilliant. So Sarah, tell me a little bit about your background. Where have you come from and how have you got involved with this Australian man?
Well, I came from straight from school into horses, and I've always worked with horses. I worked at other training yards before meeting up with Jason. I've freelanced for 4 years as well. Met up with Jason, kept an eye on his business and saw how well it was doing, and got in touch with him about managing the yard.
Fantastic. And how long have you been here?
Since March this year, so about 9 months, isn't it now?
Great. So you've got a woman running the yard, Jason. That's what I like to see.
I need that, yeah.
Now, you're really well known, obviously, for your background in the sport of polo cross, but I think a lot of people think that that's what you do here, but it isn't true, is it? Tell us what happens here on the yard and what you actually do on a day-to-day basis.
Well, that's right. I mean, my hobby is polo cross, but the business actually revolves around starting young horses, helping people with remedial problems, and generally getting horses and owners together and getting them on the way forward.
Now, your training methods are obviously a little different from the BHS and everything. Tell us your philosophy on the horse training. Why is it so different?
It's just common sense, I think. And I think a lot of things that you see with me, I'll explain, and there'll be obvious progressions, and it is just common sense.
Okay. Now, with the facilities here, you've obviously got a fabulous location, lots of land and everything. If someone was coming to you for training, what can they expect? What are they bringing their horse into?
Top class care, which is just getting better and better with Sarah and the girls on board. And, my skills. I mean, I've been training now with horses for 10 to 12 years and been in the UK for the last 7. And my skills are getting better and better all the time, and I've had great results with a lot of owners, as you'll see with testimonials and that sort of thing, and just helping people
so
out.
Basically you kind of look at it, you teach people how to actually communicate with their horse rather than learn how to do something and try and ride it through. Is that right?
Yeah, it's all part of it. I mean, there's the horses that come here, obviously starters and some of the remedial horses, they do need a professional to get them through the difficult parts of the ridden or handling process. And once they're going and that sort of thing, then we have to combine them together, the horse and rider, otherwise problems reoccur. So, that's the process.
So is a lot of the horses you deal with actual youngsters, the kind of 3-year-olds that are coming through, or do you help people undo a lot of problems that they're in, or when they maybe get stuck at high levels and they're actually out competing? Are you helping with those problems as well?
I've had a lot of everything.
Okay.
I do. Probably the bulk of my business is starting young horses, and for me, I probably prefer that because you're dealing with a blank canvas. I do undo a lot of troubles and that sort of thing that go on, and I do have professional riders that come to me to give them a little hand as well.
So Sarah, has this been really different for you to come into this sort of style of training as opposed to a normal livery yard, if you like?
No, not really. The way Jason works is he makes it so easy to understand the methods that you can just pick up and run with them. So from that point of view, it's been quite easy, but they are very different, and you have to sort of stand back and see how well they're working, and then you can understand how to use them.
Give us an example of someone that you've really turned around this year, or someone that you've helped. What's been the most satisfying this year for you?
Probably
Samson.
Yeah, I had a big jumping horse who came to me who'd done all sorts of horrible things. He'd thrown himself on the floor and he was a bit of a nervous wreck actually, and I spent probably not as much time as I would have liked, but quite a bit of time on him, and the owners have basically said it's his last chance. If they can't get him right, if I can't get him right, then he's going to be dangerous, and he was dangerous. I have to say, he was really tricky. But after his stay here, I sent him back, and they were professional riders. They're looking to compete him at quite a high level. And I spoke to them a couple of weeks later, and they said he'd been going well, he'd settled, and they turned him out for a break, and they're really looking forward to seeing how he comes back in, which is
fantastic.
my advice. Yeah,
Fantastic.
So really happy with that.
Now, you grew up obviously in Australia. You're the man from Snowy River, as I remember looking at before. So your background, were you a cowboy? Is that how this all started?
Oh, well, I don't know about a cowboy. I'm born and raised on a farm in Australia. You know, we're not really called cowboys out there, but you know, I've worked with horses and, you know, rounding up sheep and cattle and doing all that sort of thing. And my dad, my granddad and his father, you know, I come from generations of horsemen. So it's in the blood, as it were. And, you know, doing that sort of work and riding horses to work, you just learn how to handle horses, how to be around horses. And, you know, now that I've started handling horses for other people, it's a whole new level. And, you know, it's really made me focus on, you know, how to get things done properly and right.
And I think it'd be really nice to show people a lot of the movements that you did when you was working on the farm, you know, moving the sheep and turning is actually what British dressage would call a pirouette or things like that, and how much that crosses over. So are you helping people train along those lines as well, with dressage stuff as well?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I have a different approach to dressage, as I'm sure there's many different approaches, but, you know, for me, all horses need a good foundation, whether it be dressage, riding horses around cattle and sheep, or jumping, whatever. They all need a good foundation, and that's what I provide all these people to go away with and get their horses off on the best foot.
Brilliant. Now we're going to make some videos today for the Horsemart website, how to do in certain things. Now, is there anything you want people to sort of know or be aware of?
I think the only thing to really say is that I've done this for years, as I've said, and some of the things that I do might look easy, but when you go to try them, they may not be quite so easy. So just, you know, have a go, and if you have any troubles, best contact a professional or myself, and I'll help you along.
And just so people do know, what is your website so they can locate you?
It's www.australianhorsetraining.co.uk.
Brilliant. Jason, Sarah, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.